I'm a lazy person, so I copy and pasted the entire last workout program I had using the RP Strength app. Okay, I lied about one thing. It's actually not done yet, but I am gonna show you how to do it, and I'm gonna show you and tell you what the benefits are of continuing to do the same workout plan that you had last time after a short reset. Stick around so that I can show you how to put this thing together using, again, the copy-paste method, using the RP Strength Hypertrophy app, and let me explain to you what I've been doing in the past, including my workouts, what I'm doing in the future, which has been a bit of a break from working out, and also, very importantly, still working out just a little tiny bit at home. And lastly, what the future is gonna hold and what's it gonna entail as far as my training and even my gear protocol, if you will. If you're into workout content at all whatsoever, be sure to hit that subscribe button down there in the bottom right and leave me a comment with what else you would like to see. And remember to like the video, as that is a huge help. Of course, if you are interested in the RP Strength Hypertrophy app, go check out my links in the description, as well as the exact pricing outlaid in the description, so you don't have to guess where I'm sending you. Now, with that being said, let's get right into making this workout program a copy paste from the last one and helping you again understand why it's good to do this and the benefits it'll have in the long run. Without further ado, let's turn our attention to the app. So we are back at training.rpstrength. This is the website version that you're gonna see of the app, but you can do this on the phone. That being said, let me show you again how to copy a mesocycle. So you're gonna take the last workout program that you did and you're gonna redo it. The reason you wanna redo this workout plan is because you're already sensitized to these particular exercises so that you can continue to progressively overload the same movements. A little bit more on that later. Been doing this for a long time with RP Strength, and I hope that you get some value out of it. Instead of starting with the template meso builder or starting from scratch, we're gonna take copying a mesocycle, ensure a long-term progressive overload by keep training similarly over time, right? So if you do a workout plan and you jump to the next one, but it's completely different. One was arms and legs, this one is chest and back. You're not really ramping up that stimulus as hard as you could be. So we have the following mesocycles that I've done in the past. The point is to look at the first three, the first one and the third one more specifically. Back, shoulders, Baki Inspo V2. So I've already done this one other time. I've already copied and pasted this before. I'm gonna copy and paste it a third time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the last one I did, which is the Baki Inspo V2. You can see it's giving me some sort of a warning here. We can't prescribe weights and reps for your new mesocycle when the source's mesocycle last accumulation workout is more than 21 days old. Interesting. Okay, frankly, there's no need to panic. This is actually not that big a deal. All the app is telling me is that they can't describe to me the weights, and they can't prescribe to me weights and reps because the last time I finished it was more than 21 days ago. This is new to me. This is the first time I'm actually copying and pasting more than once. We're gonna talk about why I took such a long break later in the video, so let's just get right to it. Copy week 3 button down here at the bottom right of the app, and that is gonna pop out and populate all 6 days again of my last workout program. My last workout program was working out 6 days a week, or essentially 6 different workouts that I have. Depending on how much rest I took in between didn't really matter. All I wanted to do was make sure that I kept progressing through those different exercises over 6 different workout days. As you can see, I have a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, a Thursday, a Friday, and a Saturday. Every day has some sort of an exercise. But before we move on, we recognize all of these exercises. These are all exercises I have done in the past. However, I have gotten some new gym equipment and I want to make a couple of tweaks and add a couple of extra exercises that I just haven't done in a while, as I feel that some of the exercises that I currently have grown stale, or I have different equipment at my home gym that you see sometimes here in the background that can allow me to change up these workouts just a tiny bit. Okay, so we're gonna start with Monday. I have a back, I have deadlift for back up in here in the top left. Then I have pull-ups, underhand grip for back, dumbbell lateral raise. This is an incline dumbbell lateral raise, so that is basically backward flies or rear delt flies. So I'm good with all of that. Then I have sissy squat for quads. Sissy squats are like kind of tough to train and difficult to sort of like progress through for me because I can do so many of them. So I'm gonna actually switch this to a front squat. It's gonna be kind of tough, but I think it's gonna target the quads really well. It's an exercise I'm super familiar with because I've done it a lot in CrossFit. I have good weightlifting shoes that help me prop up my heels, and it gives me actually quite a good amount of stimulus to my quads. I'm gonna replace this with front squats and keep this one of the harder workouts of the week. I still love dips. I've actually started doing them on a different bar at the gym, and they are working so great for me that I'm keeping those bad boys in. I'm leaving them right there, and I'm using that new one. I might actually progress in this cycle to something more weighted so that I do less reps and get just a little bit more like stimulus to that. But I'm still focused a lot on training my back, my shoulders, and my quads when I'm doing this. And that's really the point of this. So that first day, all I did was switch out quads, basically a copy paste. Then Tuesday, I have a back supported row, a heavy machine, a hammer machine row, cable shrug, which I actually ended up liking over a good length of time while I was trying it. However, I want to add something that's a little bit more compound just because it's how I feel like my traps respond really well. So I'm going to switch this out to just a barbell bent over shrug, and that's going to go right into the barbell curl narrow grip. And then last but not least, I'm going to keep the machine lateral raise in. What I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to take the shoulders and I'm going to move them up to above the traps so that I can pre-fatigue upper shoulders and my traps, like my side delt and my traps, so I don't need as much weight on the barbell over shrug, bent over shrug. So this is just a little trick I have in the book where I can use an exercise that is less physically fatiguing to pre-exhaust a bigger, more compound exercise like a barbell bent over shrug. Hopefully that makes sense. If you don't know that makes sense to you, be sure to drop me a comment below if you have any questions on anything that I cover in this video. I feel like I should have gotten some water before doing this, but that's okay. We'll power through. Now, Wednesday, the third day, is an at-home workout. So far for this, I have Arnold press, a dumbbell press high incline, and a dumbbell press medium incline. Now that I have weights at home, and now that I have ways to load my barbell with up to, I think, like over 100 pounds, I'm gonna switch one of these exercises into something that I've been wanting to do at home for the longest time, which is a high incline barbell bench press. It's not really gonna be in here, so we're just gonna sub it for something that's similar to that. So barbell, let's see, barbell front raise, pull, face shrug, barbell front raise. So we're just gonna do barbell shoulder press seated. And now I frankly never really liked the Arnold press, so I'm gonna switch this to, that never actually really felt good to me to like twist and go this way and press. So I'm gonna switch that exercise because I don't really like it. And I'm gonna do dumbbell shoulder press standing. So we're gonna pick that. And then for chest, I'm gonna do dumbbell press medium incline still. However, I never felt like my chest was like having like a hard time doing these workouts. So I'm gonna add chest because as I'll cover a little later in this video, I'm gonna bulk for the next like 10 weeks. So if I'm bulking, I feel like I can handle just a tiny bit more volume. Add in another exercise of chest, but it's gonna be an easy one, at least to set up. And we're just gonna do a push-up. My reverse lunges actually were hitting the stimulus of my glutes so good. One-handed, sort of like really focused on my glute, mind muscle connection stuff like at home, even holding myself up from my rack, my weight rack, just to give myself some support while I'm on one single leg. And then finally, last but not least, I throw in some abs and get a really nice ab pump by doing some reaching sit-ups or just some other variation of sit-ups. The truth about training abs is I don't really care too much, so I'm just gonna hit them a little bit and then go on from there. All right, Thursday might have some of the biggest changes. Now, I don't really like the idea of doing overhead squats as the first movement because I'm trying to maximize some quad volume, and my quad volume on the other day that I do quads, my quads are all the way at the end. So instead of doing overhead squat at the beginning, I'm gonna move the leg extensions above the overhead squats. However, I'm gonna continue training my overhead squat because I want to eventually get back into doing some snatching because I really enjoy weightlifting. So I'm trying to build my overhead squat with some bodybuilding principles to see if I can get myself into a better snatch position later on. We're gonna continue using dumbbell stiff-legged deadlifts because those things just hit my hammies so good. I'm gonna keep doing cable tricep pushdowns. The last thing is I'm just gonna get rid of forearm training. I freaking hate training forearms. It always just hurts my elbow or hurts my wrist. It's like not even worth it. Last but not least, I'm gonna take the shoulder behind, snatch behind the neck press, and I'm gonna put it above overhead squats as a way to prepare for the overhead squat and get my shoulders really nice and warm. So I'm fatiguing the quads and I'm fatiguing the shoulders before I actually do the overhead squat so that the overhead squat becomes really focused on those two movements and the limiting factors of that movement movement is just my shoulders and my quads, which again, both of them I'm trying to grow. After that, the next day, Friday, we have back, traps, and abs. This is another day that I go to the gym, but this is one of those days where I finish and I'm like, wow, that was really easy. And I feel like I can handle just a little more volume, again, especially with the bulking and the 2 weeks, or sorry, excuse me, the 8 weeks of lifting gaining in a hypercaloric diet. I think it can handle a little bit more volume. So I'm gonna add a small amount of back to this because again, I wanna keep increasing the back stimulus in some sort of way. So I'm gonna add in barbell bent over row. And I'm gonna take that bent over row and I'm gonna move it after the pull down and after the hammer machine row that's high. Again, two other movements that I wanna keep doing progressive overload on. And I'm gonna put it after that because it's very fatiguing for me to be bent over. So I wanna have just as much pump to my upper back before I start doing the barbell bent over rows. So my lower back's not a limiting factor, my hamstrings are not a limiting factor, but instead my back musculature is my limiting factor. And then of course at the very end, we add a little bit of traps and we add a little bit of abs. How I do the abs, it always actually varies. Putting that exercise in there is just a way to remind me to do a little bit of ab training. Then last but not least, again, more volume adding, which is probably not super smart, but thinking in the context of bulking and thinking in the context of hitting the muscles that I want, I'm gonna add a little more volume to the last day. You have the dumbbell lateral raise targeting the side delt. Then you have the barbell upright row targeting the front delt, the side delt, and the traps, as well as a little bit of the back. So we're gonna take a little bit more volume into the rear delts by doing face pull barbell rows back this way. So we're gonna add a muscle group. We're gonna go to the shoulders again, which are our top priority. We're gonna go to shoulders and we're gonna look for face pull. I'm gonna do barbell face pull. And we're gonna move that to just after the first set of shoulders. And then at the very end, we're gonna add in some bicep volume and some chest volume with some dumbbell curls and some push-ups. And that's it. That makes doing this workout so much easier. I am mentally prepared for what I've done in the past, physically prepared for what I've done in the past, and I am ready to continue progressing in each of these movements past the first 2 cycles, especially again, because I'm gonna be in this hypercaloric diet where I'm eating more food and more nutrients are going to my body. So it's easier for me to recover. It's easier for me to train hard. That is the exact reason why we are copying and pasting our workouts. In the past, I did a workout that was very similar. It was focused on my back, my shoulders, and my quads. As you saw all those exercises that I had in there for back, quads, and shoulders, while having very little of chest and hamstrings and biceps and triceps. I wasn't really prioritizing those, so I trained them very little. I've been doing that for the last 2 mesocycles, so I've been doing that for the last 3 months. Now, yes, here in this present, I have been slacking from the gym, but that's because of 2 reasons. 1, I've really been wanting to make you this video, and 2, I have also been out of testosterone. I'll be giving you a little bit of a rundown in another video about what's been going on with my testosterone and why I've been taking it easy on the gym lately. It's not that I haven't been working out, it's just that I have had other ways to get my bodybuilding and fitness fills in that have come from either the stream or just my insatiable need to continue working out. There's a little bit of drama with the testosterone, but again, we'll cover that in another video. You've known from the other videos that I've been also on a Zepbound tirzepatide dose that only lasted 4 or 5 weeks. I wanted to give you guys weekly updates, but that didn't really happen. I only gave you about 3, so be sure to keep an eye out for a future video where I show you what I'm looking like now before we basically start this bulk. And the plans for the future are basically what I've just laid out before you. So my plan is to bulk over the next 10 weeks doing this workout plan and the next one, and then seeing where I'm at. I'm hoping to build up to around about 192 pounds. The cute baby puppy interrupted me, so I forgot where exactly I was, but again, just to summarize, in the past I've been doing the very similar workout like this. In the present, really, I just have not been able to work out that much for a couple of different reasons, and I also again was out of test, so I wasn't working out. In the future, I'm planning here to bulk around to 192, give you guys a tirzepatide update, and there's the baby again. And I'm also taking 10 milligrams, which is a lot less than I took last time, of MK677. It's just to see if it helps me with a lot of eating and see how quickly I get to 192, and then we can back off after that. I'm gonna give you guys an update hopefully in the future that I'm taking Retta, and I want to see what that's like, because that seems like quite the powerful mechanism. Ultimately, I really would like to get back under 10 percent body fat, but I think that's gonna lie somewhere under 180, and I'm about 188 right now. Unfortunately, again, Red is not available, so I'll bulk first and then take that. So I'll probably be able to finish this cycle of mesocycle that you guys just saw me create, and then I'll be able to do one more mesocycle after that before I jump on the Reda and see how that goes. So with that little update out of the way, let's continue and finish this mesocycle. I'm gonna hit create mesocycle at the very top, and now we are going to hit Baki Inspo version 3. And instead of training 4 times or 4 weeks to failure, including 4 times including deload. Now I actually saw a ton of benefit just doing 3 weeks of accumulation and then taking 1 week off of deload. That seemed to work really well actually with the holidays and everything going on. So I'm gonna repeat that and hopefully repeat that one more time after this. Baki Inspo version 4. So we're gonna go ahead and hit create, and there you have it. Everything is populated once more. Like the app said earlier, it is not going to recommend me starting weights, but I, as a trained individual and somebody who's been doing this for a long time, know that I can look back at my previous mesocycles and check how much weight I've done in the last few cycles, such as this one where I did 325 for 3 different times. So I'll plug and play those different times, such as this. So I'll put it back in 325, and then I'm probably just gonna hope for 7 reps. That way I keep a couple under the tank, considering last time I did 9. The RP Strength app is a phenomenal way to train just like me, and also a phenomenal way to train like many other people out there that are relying on Renaissance Periodization by Nick and Mike, because they truly do care so much about the information they put out there for you. To wrap up, remember that sometimes it's best to continue trying to work up on an exercise over a lengthy period of time, even if you take a small break before you try again. As a wrap up, what I'm really trying to tell you is that it's important for you to be patient and to have a long period of time where you take certain exercises and progress over the long term rather than the short term. Trying to make sure you can bench 225 by the end of summer when you can't even bench press 175. You better get started, and you better make sure that you can progress over the entire next 6 months, benching, taking a break, benching some more, taking a break, benching some more, and make sure you have those periods of rest before you try to progress more and more heavily on that bench press. If you guys like content like this, where I give you a rundown of how I'm training, explain to you how I do things to get jacked, please leave me a comment below and let me know what else you would like to see me cover. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave me a like. I forgot how much this camera auto zooms. And don't forget to leave me a like if you like the contents of this video. I'll see you on the next one. Get to know each other, and I can continue to help you with your gains. My name is Andres, but you can call me bro, and until next time, peace.